Hello students, we missed you in class today, but I hope that you can use this video to help you catch up on what we talked about, or if you're watching this later on, to practice review before our unit test. So in class recently, we've been talking a lot about the numbers 1 through 5. You should recognize this frame that we've been using to think about what we know about different numbers. So let's practice what you already know how to do. We're going to start with the number 3. So we're going to count our chips and put them into our frame. So I can go 1, 2, 3. All right, what do you notice about the number now? Think about what you can tell. One thing that I notice is there's a space on either end of the 5 frame. Another thing that I conclude from that is that 3 is 2 less than 5 because I have 2 empty spaces. Now let's think, what if I organize my chips in a different order? I keep 3 chips, but what if I put this one over here? Now I might be able to say that I notice the number 3 is made up of a 1 and a 2. So we see how these frames help us think about different numbers. I can put the pieces wherever I want in the frame and still learn about that number. All right, we're going to try this now with a new number. Today in class, we started working with numbers that are greater than 5. I'll show you how to do it for this one. We're going to start with the number 7. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I ran out of space after 5 since we're only using 5 frames, so I left my extra chips down underneath. Because of this, I can still make conclusions about the number. So one thing that I notice is that 7 has a full set of 5 and 2 extras. So that helps me realize that 7 is made up of 5 plus 2. Let's try one more. This one, we're going to do the number 8. Go ahead and think about what you would do to make the number. I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now that we have 8 chips up at our frame, think about what you can decide about the number 8. I notice that 8 has a full set of 5 and 3 extra. So 8 is the same as 5 plus 3 more. Anything else that you can think of? If you need more practice, you can pause the video now and practice using the 5 frame to make the number 6. We're going to move on to what we started working on more in class today. Today we talked about using 10 frames. For these, we're always going to start in the top left corner and move across the frame until we fill the first row. When we were using 5 frames, we put the chips in any order that we could, but we're going to do it this way to help us make the most sense. So let's start with the number 2. I'm going to put 1, 2. I put them in order, going from left to right, starting on the top. And now we can think about what we know about the number 2. I see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spaces left. So I can say that 2 is 8 less than 10. Or I would need 8 more to make 10. Anything else you can think of? Great. Now let's practice using this 10 frame to make the number 5. So I'm going to start at the top, left, and go across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What do you notice about the number 5? You should notice that it fills the entire top row, and that looks a lot like the 5 frames that we were using earlier. So I also see that since it fills the top, I only need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more to get a full set of 10. We're going to use our knowledge that one row in the 10 frame equals 5 to help us practice with bigger numbers. So now let's try the number 9. We're going to again start in the top left corner. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What do you notice about the number 9? One thing that I notice is I only have one space empty. So that means 9 is 1 less than 10, or I need 1 more to get to 10. I also notice that I have a full set of 5 on the top. So 9 is equal to 5 plus 4, which is what I have on the bottom. If there's any other conclusions you can make, think about those now. In the next activity that we're going to try out, I'm going to show you a frame that's already filled out, and I want you to think about what number it is. Try to use different strategies that we've talked about as we've gone through this video. All right, what number is in this frame? Right, you should have gotten the number 7. How did you figure that out? One strategy that I could use is I could count each chip. So I could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 spots filled in. Another strategy I could use is what we talked about just a little bit ago, is that the whole first row of a 10 frame is equal to 5. So I see that the first row is filled out. So I can say I have 5 and then count what's on the bottom. So I say 5, 6, 7, and I know this frame has 7. We're going to keep working with our 10 frames in class, but if you need extra practice, you can try to make some own at home. We're excited to see you again soon.